Welcome into this edition of Caldwell Excursions. And where do we find ourselves today, Dad?
We are in the Cabarrus County town of Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Kannapolis, North Carolina.
One time home of the largest unincorporated city in America. Now they're incorporated, so
yeah.
But and we are at the Curb
Music and Motorsports Museum. So this is the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, along with some motorsports memorabilia and the home of Dale Earnhardt's original car,
1980 championship car. Mike Curb, who's lived about 7 lives in one, apparently has been everything from governor of California to a record producer and owner to motorsports owner of teams.
Yeah, but he's basically the godfather of this particular museum, and the reason why it's here and why it's called the Curb Music Hall of Fame and Motorsports. And his connection to North Carolina started with Dale Earnhardt and the original car that he drove in that beautiful yellow. Dad, did you like the yellow?
Yellow and blue, yeah. Typical, it's almost West Caldwell color.
But yeah, I mean, so what we're going to do is we're going to let Raymond take you around and basically show you all the sites and all the things that you can see at the North Carolina Museum of Music and Motorsports. And I mean, we got a few movie posters in there, we got cars, we got everything you could want.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot, it looks like, to see from the outside. If you come to Kannapolis and want to tour this, just come to the back of the building.
Yeah, come to the back of the building.
You can, the front's on Dale Earnhardt Boulevard, right in Kannapolis.
Right.
But just come around, park at the back, because the entrance is in the back. And yeah, we found that out, walked around the whole building, and now we're going to go in and be amazed.
Be amazed. So, did you want to say anything else about this particular museum? Give any qualifiers as to why we're in Cabarrus County to look at this thing, Dad?
Well, we are here because that's where the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame is. We love music, and it's free.
And it's free. I mean,
motorsport, and
you too can enjoy this, and without the price of admission.
Yeah.
Isn't it exciting?
Yeah. So it's a short, hour and 20 minute ride from Lenoir.
Plus, you will see recent inductee Eric Church in this Hall of Fame from Granite Falls, North Carolina. I mean, you couldn't get better than some of the names that are on this wall and in this museum.
And I know you're looking forward to the Avett Brothers.
Yes, I love the Avett Brothers.
And there are so many
Doc
more.
and Merle Watson and everybody you could think of from North Carolina that's ever put out a record is pretty much in this thing.
Exactly. Either lived here or is from here. 115 inductees so far.
Okay.
I think they got 5 more going in this year, coming up in September or October. So that'd be 120.
Yeah.
Nice number of Hall of Fame inductees. Let's see how many we can spot and show it to you, the viewers at home, in Caldwell County, the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame and the Mike Curb Motorsports Motor Museum. So
okay,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Curb Motorsports. Clever.
Indeed. Now these are cars and drivers that Mr. Mike Curb sponsored himself with his team. Now, for example, you have funny cars right here. Why is it called a funny car? Look inside and look how deep you got to get in there. If you have bad knees, I feel bad for you because you're going to have a hard time getting out. And these cars go so fast, as you probably know, they got parachutes right in the back right here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is extreme drag racing right here. I think there's a C4 model too, if I'm correct, a C4 Corvette, 1980s, late 90s, or early 90s.
This is the Skull Bandit sponsored one.
Exactly. Now these are newer NASCARs. You can see Toyota, I think, came in the game in 2007. We have Ford Fusions right here. And towards the back here, older NASCARs. And if you look at both of them, you can tell the mechanical differences of safety inside. These are tighter, smaller, but you crash, you have a higher chance of surviving. And these, they're wider. They're built for me, low-key. However, if I crash in this, I have a lower chance of surviving. Not fun.
Yeah,
not fun at all. Now, when the kids come, like the kid tours, we let them inside these cars right here. Now, if one of you guys could fit in there, go right ahead. I can't do it. It's too tall.
I think I can do it.
I think you can do it.
I think I can do it.
I think you could do it. I think you could.
I can give you all this stuff down.
Yeah. Now, there's no door.
All right, we're going in.
We're going in.
Show us how it's done.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. I hear pro already.
You get into there?
Now, I hope you can get out.
Yeah, exactly.
We would definitely help you get out, though.
I don't know now. I'm wondering.
Oh,
You don't have to follow through if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, you are good. You got closer than me. I can't even get my legs in there.
Wow. Oh, I got this batteries in my back pocket. Wow. Nice.
It's exactly. And you know, these races being these cost like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Never getting out.
Once they're in, they're in.
Oh yeah,
We're committed.
If you need help getting out, I'll go for you.
I can get out.
Got
I
it.
don't think I can get back.
Yeah,
This
no.
wasn't here, but of course I guess this is safety for their head.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not getting rattled this way.
You know, Dale Earnhardt, his passing changed the
Yes.
NASCAR game. But you're a pro hanging out there already. Look, that was a nice photo right there with the GoPro.
I could get in there. I don't know how you get out of there.
Well, it probably takes 30 minutes to get out. Yeah, he got it. Pro. You sure you ain't done this before? It's crazy.
Well, truth be told, I wrecked my Monte Carlo back in '89. And it crushed and I had to crawl out the window, so yeah.
Memories.
I was in college then.
Now as you see, we have Formula 1 cars. These are kind of like the older ones. I believe these are late 80s, early 90s. And we do have more modern ones towards the front over here. Right here, Dale Earnhardt's car. But this is not the car that, you know, he passed away in. This is early stuff. Now, if you guys want something else to go to, the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte. That will definitely get you guys some views. And right next to him is Richard Petty. Now Richard Petty, in this car, he won his 200th, I'm not gonna say Daytona, but his 200th race in front of President Ronald Reagan live. So yeah, real stuff like that. Now right here, these are dirt cars. So if you guys know what mudding is with Jeeps, racing versions. Now how do you get inside? Well, what you just did, same thing for this. For some of them, like this one right here, you got to go to the left side because you have the, I guess you can say the spoiler on top. Sure. It gets dirty. They don't want to get dirty. While some of these are more open, just hop on top. You just one on top and then boom, step inside.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And like I said, all these cars are real. None of them are replicas. Everything's real. There's only one thing you get as a replica. I'll let you know when we get there. None of these cars. If you want, I can always take a photo of you guys in front of the cars and exhibits too. Put it aside, I'll get my phone too. And we do a lot of senior living tours in different counties, especially like Holly Springs, like right outside Raleigh.
Yeah, they're way down there.
If you guys seen centers in Caldwell County, bring them here.
Okay.
So over here we have some knickknacks as well. We have an additional Black Hall of Fame. Now, I think I stated before we have 115 inductees. We're gonna have 5 more this year. I would say we have about 50 exhibits. So once we expand and get bigger, we'll have every inductee in here. So I can't resist.
Absolutely.
And these inductees are in order by the induction year. So as you see, we start off 2015. On the wall when you guys came in, don't quote me on this, I think 1998.
Was the first, was when the...
Which I can say chairman of the board. Fun fact, they just performed for us on July 30th. And they're gonna be back here October 20th. And I met Ken Knox, very cool man.
Cool.
Very cool man, we have inductions every year.
Alright.
So, smooth the music side, whenever you guys are ready. So this is the Music Hall of Fame officially. And right here is the funk section. For example, I don't know if you know Parliament, Funkadelic, George Clinton.
George Clinton.
That's his exhibit right
Prime
here.
Minister of Funk, yeah.
I know, well, George Clinton, as famous as he is, we only have this. But right next to him we have Maceo Parker and Willie Weeks. Right here, we got Billy Scott. We
B.B.
got Benny King right here. And we also have Gerald Austin. Chuck Brown go-go music in DC. So DC can thank us for that. Because without Chuck Brown, there would be no go-go music. There wouldn't be songs to just Eve the Buck. So if you come on down here, we transition from funk over to country music. So Earl Scruggs, I know you guys know him. Charlie Poole influenced him, so we're gonna have him in here too. So that's Lester Flatt's Earl Scruggs.
Carolina Chocolate Drop.
Exactly. I'm kind of redoing the museum a little bit, so give it some time. This is what you came for. The phonograph. This is from the 1880s, 1890s. And that last name in there, Edison, right? Who is that famous person with that last name?
Thomas Edison.
That's him right there. The fun thing with this, it's not a CD player at all. It's cylinders. Fat, sir? Take it. Yeah, that's thick, isn't it?
This is your original record.
Yep. If you want, you can hold it yourself too. Fun fact about this, with a CD player, we can play a CD over and over and there's no consequences. With this, if you want to have a song be able to be played 100 times, that band has to record that one song, mind you, 100 different times. And let's say they did record 100 times and you play this one time, you have 99 more spins before it's over. So you're deducting every time. And this does work. If you go on our social medias, we actually play it. But if I play it and I break it, I don't think Caldwell County's far enough for me to hide. But what they did is transition from this over to the gramophone right here. As you can see, this is where CDs started to get introduced. This is heavy. This is a weapon. It's a wind-up though, just like this. And this came out in the early 1910s, RCA Victor. I don't know if you heard of them, but that's them right here. And I'll make a fun connection with that pretty soon. But we have Curly Seckler, who our executive director is actually related to somehow. Forgot how she is. But behind you, Doc Watson, David Hope, Martha Smith, J.E. Manor. This person right here, I think you know exactly how this is. You see all these old photos of her, right? Well, she got famous in her 70s. She was a maid for a producer in Washington, D.C. And in the attic, she was playing the banjo one day and they signed her. Now she was left-handed, so she had to play the banjo upside down. So yeah, she got famous in the 70s and she passed away in Syracuse. However, her Grammy is in Syracuse, but her family lives here in Huntersville. So about 15 minutes away from here. So we're gonna try to get her Grammy, like her actual trophy Grammy, put it right there with her next year.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, nice addition. Yeah, step back, take a nice view. So now we're gonna transition to the jazz, basically. So when I last came here a month ago and did a tour, right here was Nina Simone, and we had Thelonious Monk over there. I guess we're switching it up. So right here, Thelonious Monk, and Lou Donaldson, but behind you, Johnny Coltrane, who's from Hamlet, North Carolina, and Nina Simone as well, from Tryon, which is about 10 minutes outside of Shelby, right above Spartanburg. And behind you, these are most recent inductees. So last year, to the left we have the Briar Hoppers, and that black cabinet is a larger version of this gramophone right here. The difference is this gramophone was mobile. So if they had a party way back in the early 1900s, they brought that one. But this is more furniture-esque. Because in the middle is where the gramophone is. At the bottom though, is where you hold the records. Now that doesn't work. But that's okay, because we got the small one right here. Now right here we have Michael Malden and Jermaine Dupri. Here's a fun fact right here. Michael Malden is Jermaine Dupri's father. So father-son duo. And they both are hip-hop producers. I'm gonna say Michael Malden is more of an R&B producer, while Jermaine Dupri is more hip-hop. Songs such as Crisscross Make You Jump, he founded that group in Atlanta in the 90s. He's from Murphy, he's from Asheville, but they got famous in Atlanta, Georgia, so they're probably in their Hall of Fame as well. And he chose not to go by that last name because he didn't want special treatment. So Dupree is his middle name. Like I said, everything in here is from the inductees. And we're gonna get to that one thing that's not. Over here, more bluegrass. For example, Tony Rice. He is an innovator of modern bluegrass. What is modern bluegrass? It's bluegrass with electric instruments. He was one of the first musicians to do that. He's from Reedsville. And even though he doesn't have any major Billboard hits that I know of, he is one of the best flat guitarists of all time. Now behind you, David Brothers. They're from Harrisburg. We tried to get their truck for one of the music videos. It's in Wyoming. They want $40,000 for it. We're non-profit. We don't have that. Not yet, one day. But they are very famous here. In fact, if you go in Harrisburg, it does say home of the Ava Brothers. So yeah, we have a lot of talent here. Steep Canyon Rangers, they're behind you. We got Donald Lawrence. Scrolling the zippers, we have some more stuff. I guess we'll be doing it. And we also have Charles Whitfield, Mind you, everybody on this wall was inducted last year. A very big ceremony. Because COVID, we couldn't do it in 2020, so we combined it. Now, Charles Woodfield, he's a protege of Michael Jordan. Yes, the Michael Jordan. He's a producer just like those two over there. The thing is, though, Michael Jordan gave him his own very shoe, Jordan 17s, and he's the only pair. How do I know? See where, right there. And if we open that box, I'm pretty sure the alarm's gonna go off. But as you can tell, some of these inductees care more than others. For example, behind you, Warren Haynes. That's a lot right there. I had a man come in my third week because I just started May 16th. And he grew up with Warren Haynes. He said he's a nice man. Yeah, Black Mountain, Asheville area. And I told him, I'm not gonna tell you where it's at, but when you see the exhibit, I'm gonna watch your face. And I seen it from up here finding his face glowed up. So it's good to hear that a lot of us have grown up with these inductees. So let's go down the middle. Let's go down the middle. Everything you see here, real cleaned up. Everything. So you're gonna see some churches with a lot, then some with nothing, because they didn't give us anything, sadly. It's a sad thing. Now this side, we did have Andy Griffith's mannequin. I guess they took it down a couple days ago. Sometimes they gotta reuse it. But yeah, Andy Griffith, I did not know he was a gospel singer, so I thought it turned here. Looking back in the show, the way he was whistling, makes sense. But yeah, Mount Airy, that's Andy Griffith territory. You say something bad about him, you might as well get out of town. But next to him is Crash Paddock. And he's really famous in Australia for some reason. I don't know why they love him out there. Ronnie Millsap. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
You know he's blind, right? So I don't know how he's blind. I'll tell you how. He wasn't born blind. He had bad eyesight, but he was paddled in the mountains at school, back of the head. Killed his eyesight. And those are his actual glasses right there too. For someone that was doing music in the 70s, glasses kind of cool. I like them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, some of these outfits, it's crazy how fashion has changed. And there's some, clothes that you're gonna see that you think are from the olden days, but no, from like a few years ago.
Kind of comes around.
What major cities in Caldwell County?
Lenore.
Lenore? Okay, she's like in the mountain area.
The hills, yep, right there. And the northern part of the county goes into Blowing Rock.
Gotcha. Now, remember how I talked about gramophone?
Yeah.
What's this right here? An actual Grammy. Yes. Now, a lot of people say, I thought Grammys were bigger than this. That's how you know we're not famous, because we've never seen this. But if you look across the hallway right there, same shape. Because Grammy, short for gramophone.
Right.
This is Jim Lauderdale's. In fact, this is Jim Lauderdale right here. And that's him next to Anthony Hamilton in front of that exhibit over there. So when we induct people, they come. Them and their families too.
He's from Trout. Okay.
Exactly, it's from Trout. Right below Statesville. 577. It takes 77 to get to you, right?
Yeah, we came down through there. Yeah.
Okay. And we got George Hamilton next to him and John Lauderdale. Oh, Charlie Daniels. He's from here, but you think he's from the mountains, right? If memory serves me correctly, he's from Wilmington. Yeah, he's from Wilmington. He's from the beach.
Yeah.
That's weird. Considering the music he does.
Yes, exactly.
His mannequin's unique because a lot of them are just skinny. We got one kind of built like him. A little belly out. And they got Jimmy Caps to share. Jimmy, he was the longest tenured member of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. I said was because I believe he passed away 2 years ago. He was there for over 65 years. So just like Tony Rice over there, not many major Billboard hits, but as a guitarist, classics. He's been on many classic hits. But right here, Kelly Pickler. American Idol, we know Kelly. Kelly's from Albemarle. We go to Albemarle, it says home of Kelly Pickler.
Yeah.
Now, she did have a Sonic drive-in shirt up here. And people say, why does she have that? Well, she was getting famous in Charlotte, North Carolina on WBTV. She was still working at Sonic. And I said, you gotta be famous for at least 10 years. She's been famous since she was 16. So yeah, she did set a world record. If you look at this plaque right here, 2014, a USO flag, United Service Organization flag, went around the world and garnished over 115,000 signatures from April 2014 to June/July 2014. They beat the previous record of signatures by over 80,000. Now, the record's been broken since then. We got the original one right here, though. You ain't gotta tell me that. Now, right next to her, good on Randy Travis. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I only know him because of King of the Hill. I did not know he was from here. When I told people that, look at me funny. He did have a plaque saying Home of Randy Travis, but due to his problems, they took it down. But he does have a mural still, so that counts too. So, yeah. Randy Travis, Kelly Pickford. Now we do have another American Idol. I think we got 3 more American Idols. I know we have Fantasia right here, 2003 American Idol winner. She is the first, I believe, female musician for her first debut song to debut at #1 on the Billboard. Now next to her, she's from High Point as well, by the way. Next to her we have Ninth Wonder. Ninth Wonder is a hip-hop producer. I know you see Jermaine Jackson. Sadly, we do not have the Jacksons in the museum. I don't think they have anything to do with North Carolina. But he sampled their music. And I met his family, like his wife and children, on my last day, which was July 8th. This is my first day in a month being back here. Great family. I love you here. Behind you, sir, is what I call the 704 exhibit. Everyone on here is from the 704 somehow. Now we know Temptations, right? Ron Tyson right here is from the Temptations as of 1973. Now I don't know if you guys know Jodeci, Casey, and JoJo. That's their granddad. I learned that by accident. He is their grandfather. Beside him, Calvin Richardson. He's from Charlotte. And we all know Anthony Hamilton from Charlotte. I can tell you, I don't know if you know what South Park is. He's from the South Meg area. So yeah, Anthony Hamilton. Like I said, we had a photo of him with Jim Lauderdale on Jim Lauderdale's side. So yeah.
Cheetah print.
And I told you, this outfit, you think it's from the 70s, 2000s. So recent. Now up here, on July 30th earlier, we had an event called the Rhythm and Legacy Soul Concert. That was in Garner, North Carolina, south of Raleigh. I went there. Now there, we had chairman of the board. In the middle, Catalina's beach music group, famous for songs such as Summertime's Calling Me, You Haven't the Right. And right here, we have Clyde McFadden's Drifters, featuring his son, Ron David McFadden. Now we know Clyde, long gone. I think it's gonna be 50 years. It's 50 years actually as of June. But his son actually performs in his name. He sings just like him too. And his daughter is a part of our board as well. So his family is very active in Durham. So we had all of them perform for us at the Garner Performance Arts Center, which used to be a high school, but is now a performing arts center, like I said, and also a retirement home. So yeah. And Ken Knox, the chairman of the board, and his crew, they're gonna perform for us once again in Gym Theater, October 20th. So yeah. Now over here, beach music such as the Fantastic Shakers. And we gotta have pop rock on this side too, such as Link Ray. Then once you come over here, we have big band music. Now big band music, you guys probably know what it is. You have about a 40-person ensemble and no one really sings. Well, Kate Kaiser, Kate Smith, and Les Brown changed the game because they actually had people that would sing with them or they would sing themselves, bringing the face of music to them. Before that, it was just simple music orchestras. Now, Kate Smith made the song God Bless America. So that's her, we claim that. Now, James Taylor, Ben Folds 5. I'll give you a fun fact about Ben Folds himself. He was the first person to do a live concert on MySpace in 2006, on my birthday actually, on my 9th birthday. So 2006 sounds like 5 years ago, but that was 20 years ago. We're getting old. Then we got Nantucket from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Tori Amos right here too, she's from Newton, so from around your guys' way basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. And we're gonna update her stuff, you know, it's starting to get old a little bit. We don't want the clothes to tear and stuff like that. So I don't know how we're gonna replace it, but we're gonna change it up. Now this is the good stuff. This is where we got Mike Curb's exhibit. Right here where they're standing at. We also have Eddie Ray. I'm gonna start off with Eddie Ray first. Eddie Ray, he's 95 years old. About to be 96 in December. Still kicking with us. He called us about a month ago to see how things are going. Still alive. His son is a part of the board as well. Eddie Ray was the first African American to be a CEO or vice president of a major American music label. And this is in the 50s, mind you. And he wrote a song called Heart of Stones in 1955, which has been redone by artists such as Elvis Presley. It's been in over 3 dozen movies, including Goodfellas. Now what Eddie did, he signed Mike Curb right here. Mike Curb started off as a producer, then eventually, as you guys know, Curb Records. Curb Records, that star, that's the only non-real thing. But if you go to Hollywood, you will see that star. You will also see his name itself to separate it. So yeah, that's how big of a legend he is. And he made Curb Records. He started off in Nashville, but this building was the warehouse to ship out the CDs. And this is the most, I guess you could say, the most famous independent record label, the most successful one. So yeah, and what Mike Curb did, he took the money from music and put it into motorsports. So that's how we got Curb Motorsports as well, because he always liked cars. Now, he never raced, nor he never sung. Eddie Ray can't sing or play music either. But these are great background people. They're great marketers. They know, hey, I can't sing, but I know you can't sing. Think of Greg Popovich in the Spurs. He can't play a lick of basketball, but he'll tell you and show you and coach you. I can teach you how to play basketball. So yeah. And right here, we have Victoria Living Good. You can say Broadway-ish, but also gospel-ish as well. And behind here is gospel. For example, we have the sensational Nightingale. Nightingale, my apologies. And on this poster, we have Shirley Caesar. Now, I think you know social media. A couple years ago, there was a song called I Got Greens, Tomatoes, all that. She made that. Yeah. She's actually right there.
Yeah, Shirley Caesar. Hold my mule. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Hoppers. Tony Brown. Now, John Tesh. You know Entertainment Tonight? That's the same John Tesh. If you know the NBA theme song of the early 90s, that's John Tesh. Fun fact, he dated Oprah at one point. That's John Tesh. If you know Rick Dees actually helped Tim land a spot on radio at Raleigh when they went to college together. Rick Dees in the museum too. Where the music coming from is where Rick Dees' exhibit is. So yeah, there's always a connection. John Tesh, he went from, I guess you could say radio to broadcasting to actually orchestrating music. Very famous. Now he makes gospel music. It's a little bit everywhere. He's from New York, right outside New York City, but he went to school in Raleigh. Now, another father-son duo, FC Barnes. They're both from Rocky Mount. But FC Barnes, you know, he helped give Rocky Mount a good name of gospel music. I think he passed away in 2005, age of 80, I believe. His son, Luther Barnes, we all know him as well. There is one gospel dude that still preaches in Charlotte, and I mean like preaches in Charlotte religiously, no pun intended. John P. Key. I talked to my girlfriend about him, like, you ever heard of John P. Key? Because she's a Christian. She said, yeah, I actually went to his church. That's close to. He's still very local. Still very local. Yeah, another father-son duo right there. That's about every section of music. However, there's another set of cars. And these cars are more personal to Mike Curb. But before we go there, see that name Ralph Cover? He came up with the synthesizer.
Right.
And
He's
also,
from Nashville, yeah.
with this wall, I meant to show y'all this wall right here. So with this wall, we broke it down into 3 sections because North Carolina, we have mountains, Piedmont, and eastern/coast. So if you look at the numbers on this wall, for example, Jermaine Dupri, Asheville. Everyone from Asheville is listed under number 1. So we look at the number, connect the dots. So number 1, Asheville, right here. What we're gonna do one day, we're gonna take all this off, right? And put it on electronic monitors. So we can update it electronically instead of paper, because we have 115 inductees, but I don't think they're all on there. So I was like, yeah. And plus we're also gonna do, we're gonna have you be able to click the map. You can see the historical markers on the map too, see where they're actually from. And Eric Church, right here. We're talking about the same church. That's him right here in the middle. Yeah, you kind of see why I forgot about this wall. But I do like to talk about this right here. So this is Jay Spell. Jay Spell, blind, but he still played instruments. We got photos of him right here. And he grew up with Ronnie Millsap, both blind. Yes, I was about to say, yeah, they grew up together actually. So yeah. And we have another blind musician, Blind Boy Fuller, old country music person. I had to do a social media post on him. So some details are evading me. But yeah, just like Charlie Poole, early bluegrass country music innovator. Yeah. Now, this side, you see a lot of artists on these walls. These are artists that Mike Curb either signed and managed or he owns the masters. For example, on the front wall all the way up there, I saw Duke Ellington. He's never met Duke Ellington. He passed away, owns his masters. Yeah. Fun fact about Mr. Curb, he was the 42nd governor of California at some point. He's lived about 20 different lives in one.
Apparently.
I just see Leanne Rimes, right? Well, here's a fun fact about Leanne Rimes. This Dodge Viper, this isn't random. This was her first car. At 14, as an 8th grader, brought this. First check Mike Curb gave her, she bought this in 1994. This is a Viper RT10 prototype. And as I said, she got it at 14. She was now old enough to drive it on her Nashville farm. So she had a chauffeur for about 2 years. So when Mike and our motorsports manager here, Gene, went to Nashville and asked her family, hey, you know, she's old enough to drive, you think it's cool if she drives this? They said no, store it somewhere until she gets old enough to make that decision for herself. Well, 30 years later, here we are. Still original socks in the car still. Come on in, look at the car. It's a stick shift, hits at least 180 miles an hour. I think over 200, but you know, American gauges kind of shorten the mileages for some reason. 500 miles on the car. 500. Yeah. So with inflation, this car probably catches a smooth 100,000.
I'm sure. It's got a V10 in it.
Exactly. And you know, these were death traps back in the day.
Yeah.
No safety, anything. Just how I like it.
So much power.
This was my dream car. Such raw power at that.
Yeah.
This was my dream car as a kid. I like the second generation, playing test drive on the PlayStation 1. We'll be old. Well, you know, hey, the legs is like, we're not tall, you know, we're not short enough anymore, so we gotta stick with Infinities.
Oh, there you go.
But I do let people get inside this car if you want. Because this is one of the first NASCARs, or stock cars. I'll let the rope if you want, go inside.
So
Trust me, you can definitely.
No. We want you to get in a car, Dad.
okay.
We want
And
you
open
to get in one car at least.
Oh yeah.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. Yes, sir. No power steering, no safety, anything, no seat belts, bench seats.
Metal steering wheel wrapped in tape.
Mm-hmm.
You know that got hot.
Exactly. You know how NASCAR started, they were bootlegging.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
this is like a
Run from the revenuers.
Exactly. So this is like a bootlegger car, but made in the racing. So the only thing that's not stock is the motor. For everything else, stock.
You
Just paid.
got the shifter on the column. That's
Yeah.
it. It's clutch.
You got the nitrous at the bottom too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine crashing in this. That's a death sentence.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is history.
Solid metal.
Yeah, these were built out of steel, like real steel.
Yeah.
Now it's debatable were these cars of better quality. I tell people yes, but because they want safety features inside, it kind of counteracts it. Can you imagine if cars are made like this but had like our safety features? No one would die. No one. No one. But you know, there's always a counterfoot. Man, like this. Like compare this to this. It's a night and day difference. Like that's raw power. Like 100 miles in there, it's very scary. 100 miles in here is just nothing. It's built to go 100 plus miles. Exactly. There you go. Imagine. Now, this black Cadillac, Mike Curb's first car. When Eddie Ray gave him his first check, bought this. If you know mafia movies back in the day, these were called mafia cars for a reason. Put 20 bodies in the back. Yeah, so it's not just music or cars, it's actually very historical in here. And I can't wait to, you know, see the museum grow even bigger, but more vehicle additions, more inductees and everything like that. Because some inductees, they come in here and they give us nothing, right? But then they see other people's exhibits and they're like, oh no, I gotta give you a lot more. And they do, like Donald Lawrence did that. He gave us nothing originally. Came in, gave us a bunch. So yeah. Car right there too. And ours right here is just more memorabilia, I guess you could say. The country music, pop, rock. Good stuff. That's my curve right there again too. I just realized that. One last thing on this wall. Key to Kannapolis right here. Oh yeah. And there go to Hollywood Star. Yeah, as I said, that one is most likely fake as well. Go to Hollywood, you'll see both his name and also Curb Records. That's insane. If you go to Nashville, there are street names named after him. And I think he owns the Johnny Cash Museum. So Nashville is his home. That's his territory.
In the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, that's where I have rambled for many long years. In the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, I'll follow the trail of tears. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, I've been thinking of days gone by. I've been lifting my spirits high. I've been winking at the years. Memories of my mountain home. Now I travel all alone. I've been blinking back the tears in the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina. That's where I have rambled for many long years. In the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, I'll follow the trail of tears. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's a yellow tallow candle burning brightly in the window, calling me back through the pain. Well, the hoofbeats sound like thunder, battle cries still all the wonder. Lightning illuminates the rain in the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina. That's where I have rambled for many long years. In the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, I'll follow the trail of tears. I got dusty bare feet standing on a road that leads to nowhere, from our empty cabin door. And Red Cloud said he saw you on that path to Oklahoma. No one remembers anymore. In the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, that's where I have rambled for many in the great Smoky Mountains of North Carolina. I'll follow the trail of tears.
Makes me wonder if my girl ever thinks about me, but I've been gone way too long. Carolina blue sky, take me home. Met her in a hometown cafe, her beautiful brown eyes, Lord, the way they captured me. I knew I could never leave. I had to make this girl my wife. Stay right here forever, living out the dreams of my life. Carolina blue sky, where I belong. Walking on a hickory ridge, watching the sunset on the mountain, singing our favorite love song. Do you think this thing might last? Then I had to go away. She was only 7.
Well, since we were in Kannapolis, you can't come to Kannapolis without seeing the Intimidator, right, Pop?
The Intimidator, the original Intimidator.
Yes, indeed. And right behind us, there he is, in his Wrangler jeans and his snake skin boots. He's over there just a-standing with his stash. What do you think, Pop?
I think this is a fine commemoration. What is this, 21 years now? 21 years almost.
Since the Daytona.
Since the Daytona 500 crash that took his life. And as you can see, a larger-than-life statue here in Dale Earnhardt Memorial Plaza. downtown Kannapolis. A nice little town.
Absolutely.
A lot of brick. It's a brick town, and of course the home originally of Cannon Mills, the largest manufacturer of sheets in the world when it was running, and blankets and things like that. And originally the team here, minor league team, that we're going to go to a minor league team game tonight at the brand new Atrium Health Ballpark, used to be the Intimidators, named after
Dale
number 3
Earnhardt.
himself. Yep.
But now it's the Cannonballers, and in commemoration of Dale Earnhardt, the Cannonballer man has a little stash.
Yeah, just like
just like
he'd been shot
Dale
out of a
Earnhardt.
cannon.
So they did keep a little bit of flavor of Dale Earnhardt and keep the Intimidator spirit alive. But yeah,
and I don't know the story behind why the separation of the name from Kannapolis Intimidators to the Cannonballers. I don't know which party was not happy with the Intimidators, but they changed their name 3 years ago, just before the pandemic, or as the pandemic hit. And full season this year, we're going to go take in a game. This is our last minor league stadium to take in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. Well, we'll be current.
We'll be current.
So, so from Caldwell to Cabarrus County, I mean, what do you think, Dad? Do you like sea counties in North Carolina?
Apparently. Apparently I do. A lot of sea counties. So,
but thanks for joining us on this Caldwell excursion, and we'll just have to excursion again. What do you think, Pop?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll just leave you with pictures of up close of the Intimidator himself.
True.
All right.
I've been trying for so long. Carolina blue sky, take me back home. In my mind I see those blue skies, smell the air after a rain. I feel a love coming from those mountains. I hear her voice calling my name. Sitting on the front porch swing, talking about the good times. We've been married 50 years. Lord, I wouldn't change a thing. She's my daughter.